but I'm so true to this. Like, the more I get into this stuff, I 100% understand what what they saying. Like stuff like this, bro. For stuff like this to happen, and people to make it seem like it's always okay. It's always some big excuse. You feel me? And everybody follows it. It's just like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? I had to. What's up, Awoken One? I had to come do this. I said, bro. I said, no, they did not get at Michael B. Jordan them like this. I said, man, what is up with these people, bro? This shit is ridiculous. And I need to let me calm down because it's late night. Everybody sleep. I ain't trying to be waking people up. We just gonna jump right into the video so y'all can see what I'm talking about. And then like I said, as we further get into this stuff, to especially what the FBA is doing, people understand why they talk the way they talk, why they being the way they being. They just not going for the bull no more. It's like these people been doing weird stuff for so long, bro. For so long. We're not standing for this shit no more. We're not. And that's the thing. It's like for Michael B. Jordan them to get up there at the awards and be called like somebody, they say dude had Tourette's. You feel me? But that's in history. I ain't never heard people with Tourette's say the N word. Not me. I ain't never heard it. Like they got videos of people with Tourette's and everything. And then it's a pre-recorded video and y'all still gonna post it? Y'all gonna post the shit? Like, man, y'all hella disrespectful. And this is why, you know, the FBA is like, man, we ain't supporting none of you motherfuckers no more. Why? Why should we? Why should we? When y'all feel like y'all can disrespect us and do weird stuff like this, and then we supposed to be okay with it. No, that shit is, times is changing. But let's go on and just get into the video.
Good evening. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
That is wild.
Good evening.
It's crazy because I just watched one.
So I'm
Alex
looking
Jones
at this video with Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo at the BAFTA Awards. And you know Michael B. and Delroy, Sinners is probably going to win Best Picture. It's going to probably win a bunch of Oscars. I'm crossing my fingers. But they're just doing great work, just dignified brothers killing it right now. And something happens while they're up there. Two words are uttered out.
For a vital part of movie making.
Yeah, bitch nigga. And it is said by a guy named John Davidson. Wow. I think he's part of the awards ceremony. I mean, I think he might be a producer or whatever. He says, but he has Tourette's. I don't know if you know Tourette's. I follow people online that have Tourette's where they get these tics, you know, like verbal tics where they be like, yeah. A lot of times it's profanity or whatever, or sometimes like sounds and stuff like that. And it's really a really terrible disease, you know. But I had to scratch my chin on this one, because how did he say when Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan were up there? What I can understand if he's like, but so my thing is this, and I'm trying to use my logic. I'm not trying to put people down with this, but why was it specifically? It makes me rub my chin going, was he really thinking this? Is there a thought process in a person with Tourette's? They have these thoughts and that disease brings it out, but does it in sporadic moments? I don't know. I'm trying to be very logical with this. You know, really in the middle of, you know, I don't have Tourette's. I don't know what it's like. I don't know if it makes you talk and make outbursts, whether you, even if you try to suppress it. I don't know, but that was crazy. And they say they should give him a pass on it. Not a pass. We need an apology. You need an apology for that. That was fucking crazy. Is that what he was really thinking? But Tourette's, you know, makes you say it out loud in your brain? Because this is all brain cerebral shit. You know, I'm just saying. Now, what if there was a Jewish man up there, and he said some crazy Jew? What would happen then? What if there was an Asian and he said some, oh, you slanted? I don't know. Is this what they're really thinking? It's like when people get dementia. You know, when you see these old white people get dementia and their caretakers are black, but they always end up calling them and all this. They don't forget that. They forget their family. They forget memories from the past, but they always remember to say to them. Always never forget the racism. That's one thing. Dementia, for some reason, never makes them forget the racism. So I just want to know, and this is me not putting people down for Tourette's. I want to make sure I'm being very clear with this. I just thought specifically that was very, 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 very curious. Really, when the black people come up on stage, okay? I just thought that was very, very, very interesting. You guys let me know. So I'm looking at this video.
He's not even trying to. He's not trying to be disrespectful because, you know, his repertoire and all that. And it's like, bruh, come on now. Look, I'm telling you, bro. See, this is why people be running out there and they be throwing hands because of shit like this. You feel me? Because people always think they can say some shit. And then as soon as you put your hands on them, they want to make it seem like you in the wrong. And it's like, you feel me? Or they want to blame it on something. Man, nah, bro. No, that's too much.
The guy at the BAFTA Awards, you got Delroy Lindo and Michael Jordan are up there, right? And they're presenting, and a guy with Tourette's in the audience makes outbursts, including the N-word. Now, how do you it's a white guy, by the way, not a black guy who blurted out the N-word. It was a white guy. Now, the idea that this is racist and a disease doesn't make you say racist things, that's not what the Tourette's people say. What is your take on this?
I have a lot of questions. If this was the first thing on the top of this man's mouth when two black people were speaking, it does cause some concern, definitely. But he has a syndrome. He has Tourette's syndrome. So it's very hard for me to pearl clutch in this situation because I don't know exactly what triggers what in the mind. But from a objective standpoint, I mean, it's terrible to hear. No one wants to be called that. No one wants to hear anyone else call that. And kudos to those two actors, some of the best in the game, for standing there and really just taking it, being true professionals. And of course, I'm sure there'll be accountability or answers in the situation because I don't know how something like this happens.
And if any word hurts you, you are weak. Look, nah. See, that's something that somebody that it doesn't happen often to would say. Like when you really think about it, oh well, if words hurt, what do you mean? Like do you know everything that's said to you? It goes into your subconscious mind. Like different things that happen to me as a kid from my mom being like a drug addict and doing certain things. It affected my growing up. It affected my life. Like, what are you talking about? That's some bull we used to say when we was little kids. Like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. No, when we was little, oh yeah, you was disrespectful. We was fighting. We was fighting every day. That's what we did. You feel me? Like, what's wrong with that? Oh, you said, like you can say these words, but then if we say, okay, now let's fight. Because after we fight, we were still friends. It didn't mean that we didn't mess with each other no more. We were still partners. But we can get down and have a cordial fist fight because you feel like you can just say stuff to people and it's supposed to be okay because you feel like a person is not supposed to take it personal. See, this is the problem with people. You feel me? If you like, it's the same way, man. Words can tear you up. Words can do a lot to you. You feel me? And everybody knows that words can. That's what they do.
The BAFTA Film Awards released a statement after John Davidson, an executive producer who has Tourette's, blurted out a racial slur while actors Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage presenting an award. It says in part, Tourette's syndrome causes involuntary verbal tics that the individual has no control over. Such tics are in no way a reflection of an individual's beliefs and are not intentional. It went on to say that early in the ceremony, a loud tick in the form of a profoundly offensive term was heard by many people in the room. We apologize unreservedly to them, referring to Jordan and Mr. Lindo, and to all those impacted. We would like to thank, they said, Michael and Delroy for their incredible dignity and professionalism. John, it says, chose to leave the auditorium and watch the rest of the ceremony from a screen. The statement thanked him for his dignity and consideration of others. The statement did not address why the moment, which uses the N-word, was not immediately removed from their broadcast platform. The BBC, which oversees the coverage, claims it initially did not hear the racial slur, even though it seems everyone else did. The BAFTA Film Awards released a statement after John Davidson.
Somebody has to answer this for me. How much longer will Black and brown people be asked to extend grace that they themselves, that we ourselves are not afforded? For those that are unaware, and before you click away, take a note of what happened. Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo were presenting an award at an award show, and an individual from the audience shouted out the N-word.
Vital part of movie making.
That respect goes
now,
both
here is
ways.
context. That individual suffers from coprolalia. It affects 10 to 15 people that have Tourette syndrome. And that syndrome, it causes you to say obscene or harmful things. But that's not this conversation. This conversation is about the ask for the extension of grace without receiving that same grace. There's a difference between intent and impact. I understand that. I'm sure you understand that as well. That individual did not necessarily intend to harm the presenters. But what about the impact? Because there is indeed an impact. What about the impact of hearing a word that has for years meant the marginalization? What about hearing a word that has for years defined the undermining of Black and brown individuals? What about a word that for years Black and brown individuals heard, and the last word before they were brutally lynched and murdered? What about the impact? Because there is indeed an impact. Furthermore, let's have one further conversation before you click away. Where was the apology? And I don't mean the apology simply by words. Where was the apology by common sense? The award show did not air until 2 hours after it was recorded. Word could have been deleted. The word could have been deleted. Other words were deleted. Other phrases were deleted. So why wasn't the N-word deleted? Where were the people in power that had enough empathy, enough sensitivity, and enough common sense to say, you know what? This probably shouldn't air. Where are the sensitive ears in society? Where are the sensitive hearts in society? Where is the common sense, the common courtesy, and the common decency in society? How much longer will Black people be asked to extend grace without receiving it?
This is the show, you know, because it's weird. You know, it's a lot of stuff just, you know, going through in your life, like in my life as a Black man, to where, you know, these things happen. And it's like I said, you know, people just think it's okay to do this shit. Like, you feel me? Like they don't know the history behind it. Like they don't understand. And then people be like, well, you need to get over it. Well, you know, like you said, sticks, you know, like words shouldn't hurt you. You feel me? And it's like, come on now. It ain't the word. You know what it is. If you don't understand that, like it's not the words that are the thing that's hurting the person. It's what the meaning that they're putting behind what they're doing. Like, okay, like you can just do that. You can just step over a person and look at a person like they're not nothing and try to put them down to a point. It's a lot comes behind it. It's a lot comes behind it. And a lot of people, you know, I can understand, like I'm gonna say it again. If you haven't been in the situations, you wouldn't understand it. You know, like you'll defend it. Like what they'll do, they'll deflect it, they'll defend, they'll make it seem like they'll make up all types of excuses. You feel me? And this is what happens. But you gotta understand, this is every day. This ain't just okay, this is one time happening right here on this show. This is what a lot of us go through daily. And you telling me a person's supposed to walk around and be okay with that. I come from a warrior tribe. You feel me? We was warriors. You feel me? We not gonna walk around and just every day let a person do that. And then when that person do it, the next person think they can do it. And then the next person think they can do it. And then everybody just think that they can do it because, you know, you're going, well, it doesn't hurt me. It's not gonna bother me. No, it's not. That's not working no more. That is bull. That is bull.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to
The
celebrate.
thing you should know about this moment is that the BAFTAs were not streamed live. So they saw this happen in real time. Then when they edited together their broadcast, they decided to leave this in, not remove that moment.
Was anyone else in attendance at the show called a slur? I understand the person had Tourette's. I know vocal tics are involuntary, but I will say, wow, this is quite on the nose, isn't it?
African-American rappers saying N-word this and N-word that, but a Caucasian can't. So say it. Say what? Say the word you want to say. I'm not saying that I want to say it. I'm just saying that I can't.
So you can. Michael B. Jordan is speaking out after he and Delroy Lindo had the N-word shouted at them by actor John Davidson during the BAFTAs. Now, John Davidson is the guy behind the BAFTA-nominated movie I Swear, and he has Tourette syndrome, which can make people have tics and outbursts, and sometimes that includes cursing. Now, here's why this has caused up so much controversy. The ceremony was pre-recorded by the BBC, so they knew this had happened, and yet they still aired it to embarrass MBJ and Delroy. At the same time, they also cut apart a filmmaker Akinola Davies Jr.'s speech, where he was talking about freeing oppressed people.
Migrant, those under occupation, dictatorship, persecution, and those experiencing genocide. You matter, your stories matter more than ever. Your dreams are an act of resistance. To those watching at home, archive your loved ones, archive your stories yesterday, today, and forever. For Nigeria, for London, the Congo, Sudan, free Palestine. Thank you.
So this speech was removed, and the BBC didn't allow viewers at home to hear it. But the part where two black actors were called the N-word was left. Be for real. And here's another messed up part. Delroy Lindo revealed that no one from the BAFTAs even had the decency to talk to him and Michael after the incident and explain what happened. Delroy told Vanity Fair that he did what we had to do when the word was shouted at them while they were presenting the award for Best Visual Effects. And he added that he wished someone from BAFTA spoke to us afterwards. Michael B. Jordan also spoke out, saying he and Delroy were literally at work when a slur was shouted at them. And the fact that no one from the BAFTAs even checked in afterward is just wild. Many people on social media agreed with this and pointed out that this isn't the first time John Davidson, the actor with Tourette's, has had an incident like this involving a black person. Someone on X wrote, "What Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo experienced was mistreatment within the workplace. Period. It was violence." Also, several black women said they experienced it by that man as well, including Hannah Beachler. As we said, anti-black racism. Next topic. A lot of people also said that Tourette's doesn't make you racist, and racism doesn't require intent to be racist. Plus, the fact that the BBC decided to air it was overtly racist in its editing.
Delroy and I are delighted.
Some bullshit happened at the BAFTAs last night. We ain't gonna skate past it like it didn't happen. So let's talk about it. For starters, last night at the BAFTAs, Ryan Coogler did make history by being the first black man in history to win the award for best screenplay. So for that, congratulations.
And like, it ain't about. And see, this is the thing. See, I'm gonna say it again. Like time and time again. This is what I'm saying, Debbie Downer. This is what people do. Every race has been enslaved. We're not talking about that. So do we go around doing this to white people or other people or other races? Is that something that I just go around just doing? Like, I'm gonna say it, I can't stress it enough. This is what we do, because we walking in the flesh right now. I ain't talking on no spiritual level. I'm talking in the fleshly level. We make up excuses for what we do. And like I'm gonna say it again, everybody's been enslaved. Like what that got to do with this? What do that don't have anything to do with the situation and what they're doing. You feel me? Like they said, they pre-recorded this thing. They could have took that out. But they know that these two dudes, Michael B. Jordan, wasn't gonna say anything. They just kept on going like nothing had happened. But this was done. This was like a ritual that was done to make them feel less than what they are, because we know how big they are as actors. But things like this be done to put you in your place. This is what white people did back in the days in order to keep you in your place. Hit you with the N-word, call you different things in order to so-called put you in your place. These aren't those times no more where you're not going to say these things and then it's just going to be okay and we can't say nothing, we can't do nothing about it. These are not those times no more. It's just not.
Now, the bullshit happened when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were on stage giving their speech. Out of nowhere, in the middle of their speech, somebody in the crowd yelled the word nigga. No, I ain't gonna edit it out because I myself am a black man. I can say what the fuck I want. The man in question who yelled it out was John Davidson, who does suffer from Tourette syndrome. He was there because his life story was actually adapted into a movie. I know Tourette's is a pretty hard thing to deal with, and those tics and outbursts are extremely involuntary. They don't really have much control over what they say. It's not conscious. It's a subconscious thing that just happens. Am I excusing racism? No, but I am excusing the fact that someone does have a condition that they cannot control. Please, let's not sit around acting like somebody enjoys having Tourette syndrome. Hell, my intrusive thoughts drive me crazy. Imagine if I had intrusive speech. You know what I'm saying? So please, no hate to Mr. Davidson. I get it. I know it fucking sucks. You probably going through enough already. My beef is with the BAFTAs because after it happened, the host, Alan Cumming, asked for understanding. Basically, he wanted us to understand what was going on with the outburst and to not be outraged and to just, you know, give some sympathy towards what happened. Basically saying that we should have more sympathy for John Davidson than we should have for the people who were affected by the outburst, which is valid. However, you're not finna piss on my head and say it's raining. What the response should have been is, hey, let's have some sympathy for Mr. Davidson. Tourette syndrome does have outbursts that cannot be controlled. However, I sincerely apologize to not only Mr. Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan, but also to the black community, especially because the award show was pre-recorded, meaning you had to watch the whole thing and edit it. So whoever did that heard that shit and still let it air. I don't want anybody to spread hate towards Mr. Davidson at all. Your hatred should be towards the BAFTAs because you have an award show where a black man won an award that has never been won by a black man before during Black History Month at a pre-recorded event that could have been altered before it got aired. You heard the word nigga and said, I'ma just go ahead and let it slide. Boy, you got me fucked up. I'm gonna just go ahead and call a spade a spade. Despite me understanding how hard Tourette syndrome is to deal with, as an adult, you still have some type of responsibility for what is said. If your autistic child runs through a store and destroys the whole goddamn thing, you don't just get a pass for saying, oh yeah, he's autistic, my bad, he can't help it. No, motherfucker, you still have to make sure that child knows he fucked up. Hey, what do I know? I'm just a black dude with a microphone.
Yeah, and it's crazy, right? Because like I'm not trying to like spark no white and like no black thing. You feel me? Like the one thing I don't like to do is like try to spread hate with hate. But at the same time, it's like I'm just tired of that bullshit. That shit is bullshit. Like I said, I had this happen to me at work. And one of my coworkers who was white, you know, trying to tell me something, and he's going, well, you know, this person got on the bus and he called the bus driver, who is my friend, the N-word. And I'm like, bro, why you gonna say it? Like you can't say N-word? You gonna just say the word? I'm like, bro, he did it like 3 times. This lets you know, like, motherfuckers is not stupid. They're not stupid. This is the shit that they do, and they try to play games on you, and you supposed to be okay with it all the time. Like, I'm supposed to be okay with it. I just told you, bro, you don't got to keep saying that. You don't even have to say, why you got to say the word? Like I don't even use that word. I don't never say the hard ER on the N word. I don't, and I'm black. Because I know how me being black, how I feel about it, and how my people feel about it. So if I don't do it, what make you think I'm supposed to just be okay with you doing it? And then when I tell you I'm not okay with you doing it, you still continue to do it. Like you trying to tell me a story. It's like, bro, get out of my face with that. I don't, you feel me? Get like, gone. You know, then when you get mad, it's like, you know, why you gotta act like that? And it's like, what the fuck you mean? Why I gotta act like that? How am I not supposed to be mad? Did you just not hear what you did or hear what I said? Like, bro, it'd be ridiculous sometimes.
Good evening. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
I'd be surprised too.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. If you've seen the film I Swear, you will know That film is about the experience of a person with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette syndrome has no control over their language. We apologize.
Why would you even say that? Why would you even say that? See, now, this is another thing. This is what I'm saying. I don't even want to push you up out of here. But see, now you're getting disrespectful. See, now you're being, and this is what people do when they still they don't get it. They have to say things in order to try to even put you lower. But this is what people do to try to put you lower. Oh, well, if a man is acting like that, then that means that. No, it don't. That's just what you say in order to try to make me feel some type of way. But that shit don't work with me. I told you I am a man. I'm a warrior. You feel me? You feel me? That don't do all that. Don't do anything to me. If you feeling some type of way, then you feeling some type of way. I'm not. I'm just telling you the truth. I don't have to put you down or make you feel lesser than what you are. You feel me? In order to get my point across. But for you to say that, oh, a man feels like a woman, come on now. That's hella disrespectful. You feel me? Like that's the problem right there that I'm talking about. Everything that I said, I didn't put you down. I didn't even get disrespectful in not one way. But that's what I'm saying. When things ain't going your way, people will say things in order to try to make you feel lesser than the person that you are. But that shit don't work on me. You feel me? It's just, but that's weird though. That is hella weird. Oh, that's hella weird, but okay.
You may have heard some strong and offensive language tonight. If you've seen the film, I swear you will know that film is about the experience of a person with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is a disability, and the tics you've heard tonight are involuntary, which means the person who has Tourette syndrome has no control over their language. We apologize if you were offended. You may have heard some.
I think the issue is, you have this person with Tourette's. He was there because there was a movie, I swear, about his life that was actually won an award. And so the audience had been warned, but BAFTA did not apologize to Delroy or Michael B. And Delroy Lindo said he wished he would have received the apology. Yeah. And the other part of it is, in terms of the BBC, they had 2 hours to edit the racial slur out. It was the N-word. They did not edit the racial slur out, but they found time to edit a speech that was made by, he was a director, British writer, director, and producer of My Father's Shadow. And in his speech, he said, to the economic migrant, the conflict migrant, those under occupation, dictatorship, persecution, and those experiencing genocide, you matter, and your stories matter more. For Nigeria, for London, Congo, Sudan, Free Palestine. That was completely edited by the BBC before it was aired, but the racial slur was not. Yeah, I take offense to that because as a person who, and I'm sure you have as well, would be been on the receiving end of a racial slur. It's very hurtful. It makes you it makes you feel terrible. Yeah. And I'm sure that Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo had a range of emotions that were not apologized.
And it should have been.
I think the issue is, you have this person with Tourette's.
Good evening. Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate the artists who expand what's possible on screen.
It's crazy because I remember like just doing like all my videos, like talking about psychedelics and and all that different type of stuff, and people used to come in and do that, and I used to just be like, bro, like some people just ain't got nothing else better to do. They'll come in and just write the N-word hella times, bro, over and over again, and you just looking like, for reals, like we don't even be usually talking about this stuff. But I'm like going, this should be funny. People is hilarious. They be hilarious, but we're still dealing with people pushing the type of nonsense under the rug. Exactly, and this is what they do. This is exactly what happens. They push it under the rug and make it seem like it's not going on. Like, like you're not supposed to say nothing about it.
We understand the Tourette's, we understand what it is, but you still have to acknowledge what happened and how embarrassing it was for these two men. And then for Alan Cummings, who was the host of the evening, to come out and kind of give an apology saying there was strong language used. It's like, no, using the F word is strong language. Calling someone the N word is something very different. So they failed on so many levels, and I feel the worst for these two men, because as a Black person, you know, we move through this world differently than other people, and these moments, people never understand how deep that hurt goes when that word is said.
Exactly. That's just what I was saying to Debbie Downer. That's exactly what I was saying. You'll never understand. If you gotta ask questions or you gotta say the things that you said, you'll never understand. You don't get it. You're not gonna get it. So it's like really no use of even going back and forth with you, because
Michael B. Jordan said he is disgusted after a guest at the British Academy Film Awards shouted the word. The incident happened during the live ceremony while Michael and Delroy Lindo were on stage to present the award for Best Visual Effects. A guest with Tourette's shouted the word and was heard by everyone in the room and later by those watching at home. Earlier that night, the host introduced a guest named John Davidson, who is a campaigner for people with Tourette's. John was the inspiration for a movie called I Swear, which actually won 2 awards during the night. People on social media were shocked when the incident wasn't removed from the broadcast on the BBC, which aired 2 hours after the event occurred. The word could even be heard on their streaming service the next morning.
But you look how much respect this white dude has right here. He didn't even say the N-word. Like, that's how much respect he has, knowing that I'm not even gonna put the N on it. I'm gonna just say the word. Because you don't, like, even when you say the N-word, bro, the word pops up in your head. You saying it in your head. It's you're literally saying it in your head, meaning it's replaying all over in your mind. Like, he's not even saying it.
The program was finally taken down for editing. Even though it was said to be an accident because of his condition, sources say Michael wasn't happy. One source said Michael B. Jordan was disgusted but not surprised. He's going to keep quiet about this, but he is definitely side-eyeing the BAFTAs for allowing this to be aired and not for taking precautionary steps. Fans are mostly on Michael's side, and many are calling for a complete boycott of the BAFTAs in the future. But before you go, I want to know, how do you think this should have been handled? Michael B.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
Delroy and I.
So Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were called the N-word in an award presentation by a man who had Tourette's, or has Tourette's rather. Now, I get that when you have Tourette's, sudden outbursts are just things that you cannot control. You have no control over. I'm not trying to blame this man for his condition, but do you really purposely or accidentally, rather, do you really accidentally yell out what sounded like the N-word to 2 Black men on stage? I mean, it could have happened. It could have. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to not have happened. I'm not trying to hate on this man at all, but it does seem brutally misplaced. And apparently the N-word was shouted more times than once. And to be honest, I can't even be angry. Just really disappointed. This is a group of people who created a great piece of art, a fantastic movie, one that a lot of us loved. And for the individuals who are awarding these people, the individuals who are supposed to be rooting for these people, are calling them racial slurs. In an industry that literally relies on people getting along, being together, and creating great films, you have people who believe that behavior like this is necessary. And that is very disappointing and just unfortunate. But to the Sinners cast, just keep on being great. Can't really worry about what everybody else has going on. Some people aren't going to like it. That's just fine. Why wouldn't they like it? I don't know, but guess that's none of my business to figure out. Really sad that the cast has to go through this, but unfortunately, it's the world we live in. It's the current economic and political state of our world. Sinners, at the end of the day, was still a fantastic movie and deserves a ton of...
Nah, everybody just mad because we saying we ain't okay with this shit no more. I said that's the problem. If you got a problem with people speaking on shit like this, I'm gonna say it again. That means that your mind you lost. Like you got a problem. You got a serious problem. If you think it's something wrong with people speaking on stuff like this, things like this happening. This is an everyday thing. This is happening all the time, many times throughout the day. You feel me? To black folks, and it's like, oh no, it's cool. All these excuses being made. You feel me? Like, no, we tired of that shit. We need to start boycotting motherfuckers. And for reals, like, nah, they don't need to get our money. We need to stop spending with. This shit got me so pissed off. I said, cause Michael B. Jordan, my boy. I'm just saying, yeah, this shit is crazy, bro. This shit is crazy. And then we always being nice. We always being nice, and we always being cool with people. And then that's what make them think they can do this over and over again. And then we don't say nothing, and nobody stood up and said nothing there right then on the spot. Like, what the fuck? Like, nobody stood up and said anything right there on the spot. Cause if it was with us, we'd have been like, bro, on the microphone, bro, fuck this, fuck this award, bro. You better come up here and apologize right now. Like, period. I don't know what make y'all think this shit is okay, bro. That's all I can say. You feel me? This shit is not okay. And I see why my folks hit me and told me to start getting into this stuff, because it's been happening to us. And they, like, the ones that don't know, like, this is what they want you to do. They want you to act like it's not happening. No, that's what, turn the other cheek. You feel me? Act like it's not happening. You feel me? Live in the illusion that this shit is not going on. Living in the illusion that you shouldn't say anything when this is happening. You feel me? You should be okay and just, walk away and, and go deal with them people over there while these people just steady shouting this shit over and over again. Nah, bro. Nah. It's not happening no more. We're speaking up, and I thank everybody that actually do. You feel me? Like, yeah, and I'm just about to get out of here because I'm getting too loud. My girl opening the door. She's like, you're loud. I'm like, going, my bad. I'm just kind of furious right now. This shit kind of got me angry. Because that's some bullshit. That is some bullshit right there. They know it. They know it. And they didn't even apologize. That's the problem. They didn't even apologize, though. That's what's crazy. Instead of just apologizing, you're going to make up an excuse. Well, he has Tourette's, like, the first thing you could have said was, oh, we apologize for that. You feel me? And then you could have gave that excuse. That still wouldn't have sounded right. But I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here. Oh, yeah, we would have walked out. We would have walked out, man. You feel me? Like, yeah, we'd have walked out. Yeah, like... Yeah, we'd have walked out that thing. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's not even cool. But on that note, man, y'all have a beautiful day. I'll see y'all in the morning. I'll be back in the morning with more content, and we're going to just keep it going. Thank you. Hit that like button, and peace out. Have a